What's up guys, Hungry Stingram here, back at you with myself. We have another question from somebody who says, today's question is from somebody who says that all he likes doing is playing video games, and he doesn't enjoy going to work in school, and is this fine? Is this considered okay? Now, the way I'm going to approach this is that you have the thing with work and school is that it depends on this. This is a very broad question, but the way I'm going to approach it is that, you know, generally, if you're doing, okay, this is the way I'm going to approach it. If you enjoy your video games so much, then, you know, just make sure that, as far as work and school is concerned, you have to see if that's extremely required. Basically, like, if you don't focus on school so much, is it very detrimental to your overall health? Like, is there some very, very high consequences for just making D's and C's in school, or can you get by with that? And as far as work goes, are you living with your parents? If you're living with your parents and they're providing the food and the necessities for you, maybe you can slack off more with your work, or just stop it altogether. As far as the video games is concerned, it depends how serious you are with the video games. You know, if you want to be very committed, the thing with the video games is that it depends. Is it a passing fancy, or are you actually going to do something very big with these video games? Do you want to compete, or do you want to make video game commentary? Or do you want to become a video game tester or a video game maker? Like, what do you want to do with the video games? And, you know, as far as the but if you're very serious about this video games and you feel that this is something that is pretty serious thing in your life, then by all means go ahead and focus more on the video games, because, you know, if you gotta play to what you're naturally leaning towards, you know, what you enjoy doing and what you're good at. And you have to evaluate your habits. You know, you have to evaluate, do you like indoor things more, outdoor things more? Do you like, what do you naturally enjoy doing, where people say that, what do people, like, compared to society in general, what do you feel you're better than other people at, that people give you attention for? So, and what do you enjoy doing? So, as far as this video games thing is, if it's that serious, then go ahead and just play your video games, because, you know, you gotta stick to your strengths. You know, you gotta stick to what your entire body is leaning towards and it's leaning towards these video games. Like, they say that horses run and birds can't run like horses, and horses can't fly like birds. Basically, what I'm talking about is that you should do things that you're naturally gravitating towards to. Don't focus on things that, you know, you gotta go with the path. You gotta go with the least resistant path. You know, nature has these rules for us, and you either follow the rules and you live well and you follow the rules. You have to know you have to discover some of these rules for yourself. And one of the rules is do what you're naturally good at and enjoy doing. That's one of the rules. Otherwise, you're going to be like the horse that's trying to fly. Now, you know, eventually the horse, through some means, may acquire the means to fly, but right now he has to run first because that's what nature dictates. So, you know, as far as this concerns, just do what you feel like doing right now. Just do what you're going with your heart goes towards to. And if you're serious about this, you know, don't give it at least, I don't know, this is just a recommendation from me personally, to help you decide whether this video games is serious for you or not. Or maybe you already decided that it's serious. But if you're so interested in these video games, what I would recommend is play these games seriously for a year. Go ahead and if you're able to, go ahead and slack off with school, slack off with work. If it's not that serious, like you're not depending on the work for your livelihood, or you're not depending on school for your livelihood, go ahead and slack off a little bit. And you know, I don't know about how your parents feel about this. If you're still living with your parents, I don't know how they're going to feel about this, but if possible, maybe you can try slacking off more with school and work and focusing a year playing video games straight. And write down in your notebook, play video games for 3 hours daily. Write it down in the notebook. You know, you gotta write this down. Put it on your wall. I want to become a great video game whatever. Or maybe you're not sure if you're serious about it yet. Maybe you haven't decided if this is maybe just a passing fancy. If you're very serious about it, I would recommend that you put the motto on your wall, like, I'm going to become a great video game whatever, whatever, whatever. Or if you're not that serious about it yet, go ahead and take a notebook, or your habits book. Write down, I'm going to play video games for 3 hours every day. Just write that down. Write it down. Just make sure you do that every day. If you can't do that every day, like there's some type of problem with your other life, you may have to make adjustments to eventually be able to play these 3 hours every day. But it will show you whether this is good, helpful for you. Because every day you're going to read this every day, and you're gonna think to yourself, oh, is this really what I want to do? Play these 3 hours every day. You're going to look at it every day. It's going to remind you to either play the 3 hours of video games or to decide for yourself whether this is really that important, or whether you should make other habits to change yourself so you can go ahead and play these 3 hours every day. So the important thing, the practical thing for you to do is write down in the notebook, play 3 hours every day. Look at that one line every day and play your 3 hours. And video games is very energy draining, so you're probably going to have to slack off with your work or your school, and you have to see the dynamics between your parents too, if you're living with people who are caring for you, because you know there's a little bit of some type of politics going on. You know, you have to make sure that, you know, with the people, you gotta make sure that if there's too much tension going on, you know, this could disrupt what you're trying to do. If there's too much tension between your parents, they're giving you too much bullshit, and they're trying to, you know, give you all sorts of stress with what you're trying to do. It could. So you have to decide for yourself what you have to do to make sure you quell whatever tension or stress they're going to give you. You gotta make sure you take care of that. But make sure if possible you write down the notebook to play 3 hours, then look at that every day. I talk about the habits book. Make sure you keep a habits book, and then play the video games 3 hours. Try that out for maybe a month first. I said a year, but maybe you should try a month first just to see how you feel. Play 3 hours continuously every day. Like, and if you can't, if one day you're too tired, maybe there's some type of other problem with your life that you have to fix, that you have to add more habits to your book to read every day. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I'll see you guys next time.